On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Ethan tries to fix time and Tony delivers a message. We talk about the week's biggest news and answer your questions. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I am your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
And joining us this week are explosions.
Lots of them have been happening. It seems quiet at the moment,
Yeah, just give it time. You'll hear it randomly happening in and out.
but we'll see.
Depending on the timestamps of the show, really.
From about 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, it was non-stop, just constant, the sound of explosions. Never ending. I just heard one go off right as we say it's getting quiet. So yeah, it is the 4th of July, and we are recording this show late in the evening, and everybody around us is still celebrating.
It was.
So
I think it was supposed to be raining right now, and it's not. So yay!
it rained on us for about an hour, around 7:30ish. So
I
our
think.
kids were outside, they were playing in the swimming pool, and then all of a sudden, rain just out of nowhere basically started, and it poured for about an hour around here.
It started raining over here like between 3 and 4. So that's what we got.
Yeah, we got rain that came down from Kansas and decided to spend a while here in Tulsa. And so our July 4th gathering got moved from the backyard to the living room for about an hour.
It's a weird place to do sparklers, but okay,
Hey, you do what you got to do.
right?
I just made sure the floor was nice and wet so that when the sparks hit the ground, it didn't start a fire, and we were good. Push the couches out of the way,
Yeah,
it'll be
there you
fine.
go.
It'll be fine. So, no.
They are going off in the background
Yeah,
on my side.
I can hear them through the headphones. So, both of us this week played games that are about time travel.
Spoiler. For
So,
your game anyway. I don't know if I ever mentioned it.
I know now that my game is about time travel. But what have you been playing this week?
Actually, this week I started it. Okay, so last night Shannon's was it last night?
I think so.
Yeah, last night Shannon sends a message like, "You guys need to play this game if you haven't played it before." Oh my gosh! And it's like, "What'd you play?" Quantum Break. Okay, and it was what it served as was a reminder that I have a copy of this game and I need to play it because I have had it since near launch.
And you haven't played it?
Well, I got to like halfway through Act 2 on there and I stopped.
Yeah.
The it was a really hard game for me to play because I think I still had the crappy internet at the time. And a good
Okay.
chunk of this game is not on the disc, and by a game I mean a TV show because it's a download.
Yeah, it was sort of one of those mixed media things that they tried to do.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting because you're playing the game, you're like, oh man, look at me, I'm running around as Jack Joyce doing all this stuff, and then you finish the act, and then you get this TV show uh, thing happening, which it's like the length of a TV show. It takes a good 30 minutes to watch an episode of it, and it's like, oh, that's the character I was playing as. That's actually the actor playing the character, and you're seeing another side of the story play out. So that's pretty cool. It's the Xbox has no trouble like really streaming it or anything, but
Hmm.
I wasn't really the best for streaming at the time when I got the game when it came out. So the option was to download, and the Xbox, my original Xbox One X. or Xbox One, not the X. Xbox One. I don't think I really had the room on that hard drive for all that data, so I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not downloading that crap, and I can't stream it, so this is pointless. I did stream it. It was very low quality and just boring. But Shannon served as a really good reminder. I had this game, and yeah, started it up. Right now, I think I just finished Act 3, so whatever video footage I'm using will be from like Act 4 going on forward on there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know what it is, it's from the same people that made Alan Wake.
Yes.
And I think what's that other game where it uses the main character's name as the title?
Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
No.
No?
I forget the name of the other game, but I do remember Super Best Friends was still a thing, and Liam was still part of the podcast on that for a while, and he would constantly call the game Jack Joyce instead of Quantum Break because, like Alan Wake, the game you play as Alan Wake.
Yeah.
So the company's known for naming the games after the main character you play as, and then they come out.
Blair Witch.
Then you get Quantum Break. It's like, come on, guys, give us what we want.
Who's named Quantum in this game?
Well, you have to do all these leaps until you finally get done and you're back in yourself.
And you play as Scott Bakula?
There you go. That would be a weird game to play. Or
Scott
actually, it would
Bakula.
be a really interesting game to play.
A Quantum Leap game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
It's like each chapter you're a different person in a different environment.
That actually would be really cool.
You pause the game and what's his name pops out of like a portal or whatever that is he pops out of to come talk to you, the big white door that appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be cool.
Make it happen.
I'll get on that. So Quantum Break, basically, you go into like a time machine, like your brother or your. It's been a while since I played, and I'm like half. I started like midway through Act 2, so I forget. But I think it was a time machine your brother builds, and then
Is the time machine shaped like a phone booth?
no, that'd be cool. It's more of a tunnel, like a
Oh.
circular tunnel. I think your brother built it, and then like a friend stole it, and then your friend's showing it to you, and I forget the whole situation on there, but both both you and the friend have gone through the time machine, and or he went through it. He ends up in the past and is building the future where he is in control.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's been in control the whole time. He's just waiting for the time machine to get rebuilt so he can come back after you. After he's out of the picture, I guess I should say. And so you end up getting time powers where you can kind of like stop people in their tracks, shoot bullets at where they're at this bubble field that you make around them, and like you shoot it enough, it explodes and they're finished. I think I just got the ability to sprint around, and I can go and melee people with that ability now. It's pretty neat. Uh, but yeah, it's kind of neat just running around using time vision to see what stuff can be changed, I guess. And you can kind of rewind time or something on various places to make platforms that were not platforms beforehand, or they used to be, but they weren't there anymore.
Okay.
So your time controls they're kind of set in stone, but you have some leeway there. But yeah, it
Interesting.
it is kind of interesting, just the way it plays with time on there, really. As for the cutscene stuff, those like we were saying, it has some live action things on there that you get to
Yeah.
see.
It sounds like the perfect type of thing, like the thing that Kojima would want to do.
He he probably I don't know if he's ever played this game, but he would probably really enjoy it or like the idea behind it.
Yeah. I could absolutely see him doing some sort of mixed media type thing like that.
Well, he brought like major cutscenes into games with Metal Gear Solid for PS1.
Yeah, but he wants to make movies.
I think he's
So
actually working on movies now, isn't he? Or his company is at least.
I seem to remember hearing something like that. I don't know for sure.
Hmm.
Um,
I,
but
I I know his
he would.
parents were big film buffs, and he would get to go to movies, and then his parents would want him to do reviews of the movies and tell them what he thought of them and stuff.
He'd jump at the chance to do a Metal Gear movie if he ever could, or
I don't think he would do Metal Gear because
a Death Stranding movie.
he's more the type of person who is kind of like one and done. Like he really didn't want to do the sequels to Metal Gear, so but people kept Konami higher ups kept hounding him to do it,
Yeah,
and so he kept like Metal Gear Solid 2. You start as Snake, and then you get to go move over to Raiden. That was his way of saying I'm moving away from Snake so I can have the new character.
hmm it's like Nintendo telling Sakurai that they're making a new Smash Brothers game, like live on stage at E3 or something.
Spits out his dream. Well, when he
Yeah,
hears that, he's like, crap.
it's like
All
I
right.
thought I was done.
So yeah, Quantum Break, Xbox One game. Is that on Game Pass? Yeah, it's on Game Pass, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
So if you have Game Pass, check that out. I don't think it's on the PC side. I'm not
I don't know.
sure. I don't. I think. You know what? I'll check real quick.
I know we're pretty close to the. Speaking of Kojima, the PC release of Death Stranding is soon.
I swear that came out already. That is so weird.
It
Every time I
it
hear
releases
that.
on July 14th.
Oh, okay. It came to Windows. So
Quantum Break did.
yeah, it's on PC. I
Okay.
did not know that.
Or is it on Game Pass? PC?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up right now.
Cool.
So I will be able to tell you momentarily.
Excellent.
I do not see anything for Quantum Break
So they
on
probably just got
PC.
the console side up on there only.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I I don't know if this will mean I'm gonna move over to the Alan Wake series after this or not. I'm
Oh,
not
you're gonna
sure.
dive deep.
I mean, I could since I it came with a copy of that game and such.
Once you start, you're gonna be down. You're gonna be diving in. You're gonna be looking for all comic books and novels, and you're gonna be writing a screenplay for an Alan. I almost said Alan Wick. That's not.
Alan Wake, man. Okay.
That's
So
John's long lost cousin
it's like,
that
all
they
right,
don't
those
talk about.
Cthulhu children mess with the wrong guy.
Starring Keanu Reeves as Alan Wick.
I'm trying to see what other games they've made.
I could not tell you all of them.
Games
Like
developed.
Jack
There we go.
Reacher is the first thing that comes
Okay,
to
okay.
mind when I'm thinking
Max Payne,
Max Payne.
Alan Wake, Quantum Break. Hey, they made Control. Okay, yeah, I might check out Control. I know Kojima had involvement on that. So yeah,
I think.
he's aware of Quantum Break. He's got to be.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably is.
They also did Death Rally, Agents of. Oh, that's an iOS game. Who cares? Crossfire X that comes out this year or already did. I'm not sure. Huh. They didn't. They did not do Max Payne 3 apparently. It's Remedy Games or Remedy
Hmm.
Entertainment. Sorry. So yeah, Max Payne, Alan Wake, Jack Joyce, that person you play as in Control.
Who I don't know. I think Shannon has played that as
It's
well.
like I didn't hear about that game until the Game Awards were out giving it an award. I'm like, oh, okay.
I know I remember a lot of people talking about it, but I don't remember any of the actual conversation around the game.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. So, what'd you play, Tony?
I played a little game called The Messenger.
I've heard of this.
I
Good
know this
game.
is one that you played, you were really high on. Uh,
The highest.
you really liked the game, and it's been sitting there. I've tried starting it a couple of times and just never actually sat down and played it. And this week I was like, "Oh, I've got some time. I want to find something to play." And just looking through the list of games I had downloaded, saw The Messenger. I was like, "Okay, I'll just start up that and play around with that for a while."
That's how it
And
works.
I got to about 5 hours, 5.5, maybe 6 hours in. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm getting close to the end of this game, right? Um, and I sent you a message and I said, I think I'm on the last level. I'm going to beat the game tomorrow. But you didn't
Yes,
say anything. You were
but
just asking me about where I was at. And I told you. And I said, based on what I saw, this is the list of levels. I'm on what appears to be the last level. And I got a little confused because the next day I looked it up and I saw people saying it takes 12 hours to finish this game. And I'm like,
mm-hmm.
how did I finish a 12-hour game in 5 hours? This makes absolutely no sense.
Where did these speed strats come from, Tony?
I'm really good at speed running the messenger, apparently not. Um, and I found out later that that's not the case. I was not done. I was only about halfway through the game at
And
most.
now it makes sense why I was questioning certain things, right?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. So, for anybody that doesn't know, the Messenger is a you know
8-bit.
side-scrolling 8-bit style. It looks like a modern version of like Ninja Gaiden,
It is
basically.
a much more playable version of Ninja Gaiden.
A
That
much more friendly, much more fair,
forgiving.
yes, version. You're not jumping onto a screen that you can't see what's coming. A bird hits you and knocks you back to the screen before you fall in a pit and die. That's not
I
happening.
think that can still happen though.
Um, so the controls are very, very tight. You have run, jump, and then you get some additional abilities that help move around the levels. You'll get like the ability to throw shurikens, a grappling hook. I think they call it something else, but they're like, you're just
The
going to
rope
call it a
dart.
grappling hook.
It's a rope dart. They say it's totally not a grappling hook.
But it is. It's basically what it functions as. You throw it out, and you can hook onto like rings that are on the background areas, and it will fling you forward, or you can use it to grab onto a wall and pull yourself over to the wall, which you will then stick to, and you can climb up and down. I think there's something. Oh, and you get a wingsuit, which will let you glide over long
Oh
distances.
man, I love the explanation for the wingsuit. The guy's just talking about a squirrel, and you reply back. He's like, uh huh, and it's like, what? Here, have a wingsuit.
Yeah,
It's just the entire game is just comedy dialogue after comedy dialogue when you
it's
talk
really
to the
well done. It's really
storekeeper.
funny. Um, so yeah, you play through. It's got there's a jungle world. The only world I didn't like, and I just absolutely hate trying to get through this world, is the ice world.
There's really
Um,
not too much you have to do there, but there are some important points that you do need to do, and that's the annoying part is getting those done.
yeah. None of the bosses were incredibly difficult. I think most of them, with the exception of like the demon in the underworld, um, I was able to get through after like a couple of times. Playing the patterns were easy enough to recognize after a couple of deaths that the third time I was able to go through, finish most of the bosses by the third time through, except for the demon, which took a little bit of figuring out. His pattern was a little bit harder to understand. Um,
Okay.
But yeah, so and once I beat him, uh, I got this really long cutscene with all kinds of stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
and realized that I was just one part in a continuous loop of things that are going on. And
And you got to pass the torch to the new guy.
yep, I thought, man, oh great, I'm gonna get to play as him. But then no,
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to play as like another character going through a whole new story.
I was too. Um,
But no, you get to play shopkeeper after that
which was interesting.
for like 2 seconds.
And you don't really do much as the shopkeeper. You just sort of stand there, and it's basically a cutscene. So, but yeah,
The
and
job
once
the job you're given but not trained for.
yeah, once you hit that halfway point, the game then opens up and it becomes more of a Metroidvania style game rather than just a straightforward side-scrolling platformer.
And it comes with
Uh,
the best line on there. It's like you took the scroll to the top of the mountain, but you never opened it to see the map.
yeah, it's
Just
like you carried
oh,
this thing for hours and blah blah
never
blah
looked
blah
at
blah,
it.
and you never once looked at it. It's like, well, no, I didn't. I'm just the messenger. I'm not supposed to look at the message I'm delivering. Just deliver the message.
Or the
And
the
also,
good ones like, okay, now hold out the scroll. He just holds it straight out and they're like, no, up. And so he has to lift it overhead.
yeah.
Man,
And so once the game opens up and it becomes a more of an open world Metroidvania style game, all of the levels are interconnected, and you'll go from one to one to one uh, throughout. But once you've done that, you've also at that point unlocked an additional art style for the game. It goes from an 8-bit visual style to a 16-bit visual style,
mm-hmm.
and the levels change based on whatever visual style you've got going at the time. And you'll find places that are clearly marked on the map. They tell you this. Um, there are places that you can go and you can change it by going through like a portal, and that you use that to solve puzzles, because in one version of the world an area won't be opened up and you can't progress past it. But if you can figure out how to go through a portal to get to that area, you then can open up an additional path. Sometimes it'll be places you've been, sometimes it'll be places that are new and you're just discovering them for the first time. And so it adds that nice puzzle element to those levels, that while you're playing through them for a second time, they're different this time through.
It's because everything becomes 16-bit.
Yeah, and I really, really have been enjoying that. Uh, and there's now a new thing. I'm looking for these music notes to unlock some sort of song that will do
Mm-hmm.
something. I don't really remember everything that's involved with
I don't
that,
think
but
they explained it properly, so you have to find out once you do it.
okay. Maybe that's why I'm a little confused as to exactly why I'm supposed to be finding these things.
And I
But
think
yeah.
after you get done with that, then you get to move on to the DLC if you want.
Oh, great. Oh, that's the like summertime beach stuff, right?
Yeah, the Surf
Yeah.
Ninja stuff.
Yeah. So,
Which that's just as simple as soon as you beat the game, go back in there and go to the shop, and you'll see what you're looking for.
yeah. So I really, really am digging this game. I'm glad I finally actually sat down and started playing it, because it's been really fun. Like, it is an incredibly well made, tightly controlled, funny game to play through.
Yeah, it has like the right mixture of comedy to actually good gameplay.
Hmm.
And you can just skip all the comedy and just play the game, or you can take time and actually read all that dialogue and have a good chuckle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, cannot recommend the game enough. It's really good, and I think it's available on everything at this point. So
Is it on Switch?
I think it's on Switch. Pretty sure it's on Switch.
Hmm.
I can verify that real quick, but I know it's on PS4 and Xbox and PC. So, um,
I do know the way I originally got the game was through Twitch, for being a Twitch Prime / Amazon Prime uh,
yeah,
person.
I think looking through my list of games on there, I actually own it there as well, but I've been playing it through Game Pass. Um, and it is available on Switch.
Excellent.
So, it's $20. Well
Windows,
worth it.
Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Yep.
Uh,
And
I really like one of the things that they do with the game is the checkpoint system is really, really forgiving. Um, and you don't technically die even though you die, because what happens is when you die, uh, the shopkeepers send out this demon that comes and catches you right before you die, and he takes you back to the checkpoint. But of course, as with any game like that, there's a fee involved, and rather than paying it right then, he just follows you around and takes any money that you earn from that point until you've paid off your debt to him.
or you can actually just stand in the same spot. Eventually, he'll get bored and time out and leave.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, you're standing there for like a good little bit.
Oh, see, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Um,
The best place is when you die to a boss, since you're not going to be earning money between that screen or from the last save to that screen. He sees the boss, he gets scared and runs off. So he doesn't stick around for gathering money from the bosses. So that's
yeah,
always nice.
yeah.
And if you go and beat the DLC, I don't know if you have to be at 100% on there. I think you do, maybe not. Yeah, I think you have to be 100% through the DLC. You unlock the a certain option to go and do a new game plus, where you'll have all your abilities or equipment and all that,
Hmm.
and you get the option to get rid of the demon, but double your life and everything, like your attack power and stuff. And so there's you get that option, and so it's like if you get a game over, there's no one to save you.
Wow.
And
Yeah, so you become like really powerful, but if you die, you're dead.
yeah, but you get a cool red aura around you, and you look really evil.
Interesting.
And there is a cutscene that's involved with that, so not going to spoil what happens there.
All right. Yeah, so that's what I've been playing. I have really, really enjoyed playing this game. So, if you haven't played it yet, don't hesitate to try to find it and play it. If you have Game Pass, I don't know if it's on PlayStation Now or not,
I don't think it
but
is.
pick it up if you can. So, but that is it for me. So let's take.
I'm checking to see if it's on sale on the Steam Summer Sale right now.
Okay.
Store page. There we go. It is $10 on Steam right now. That offer ends on July 9th.
So that's 50% off.
Or you can get it for $6.76, and that comes with the soundtrack as well.
Nice. Yeah, it's
8-bit
got some good
soundtrack
music.
and the 16-bit soundtrack.
Okay. Well, there you go. But yeah, that is
Oh, and that
it for
comes with the
me.
Picnic Panic soundtrack too. Nice.
So let's take a quick break. We will come back and we will talk about the news. So a new month means new free games, Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Games with Gold, we can tell you exactly what those games are now.
Okay, what are
Uh,
they?
Nin- Nintendo hasn't said anything about if there's anything coming to NES or
Yeah,
NES
they're
online.
just kind of like, yeah, we think you want some games, so they're like,
When they
we might do
decide to get
this.
around to putting some new games out, they'll tell everybody, but they haven't done the monthly releases in a while. Um, but PlayStation Plus has 3 games that they will be giving out this month, and those games are Rise of the Tomb Raider, NBA 2K20, and a game called Erica, which I've never heard of.
I've never heard of that either.
So do not know anything about that one. And then Xbox has 4 games that they will be doing, and those are WRC8 FIA World Rally Championship. That's just a rally
That is
racing
a
game.
really long name.
It is a really long game. Dunk Lords, which is some basketball thing. Don't really know.
Okay.
A game called Juju, and then Saints Row 2 for the 360.
I think I already got Saints Row 2 at some other point like that through there. No, I think I get him with something else. Anyway, that's a hard game to go back and play.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's just. Ugh. It's like trying to. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and then going back to vanilla Grand Theft Auto 4.
No.
You just get that muddy limitations in the way and stuff. It's just a thing.
Right, this is one of those. If you've played, Saints Row 3 or Saints Row 4, they've probably improved a lot of that stuff and made some changes that make the game a whole lot more fun to play.
Oh yeah, totally.
So, there you go. If you have PlayStation Plus or Games with Gold, those are your 3 games for the month. I know the PlayStation games will be out on the 7th, so as of the time you're hearing this, uh, a couple of them are already out on Games with Gold. The other 2 will be out on the 15th. They do them in 2 chunks where
Yeah,
they
it's like
keep
you
them.
get the Xbox One games first, and then the like older stuff midway through.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. This week was a little weird for uh, announcements of video game themed TV shows because we got not one, not two, but 3 properties that will be getting TV shows.
And I can only know that, or I only know one of these was one that people have been asking for years. The other two, who asked for these?
Yeah, so I don't know. The first one,
Particularly one one,
the
definitely
one that
one.
just came out of nowhere, and I have no idea. I don't think anybody has ever said, you know what? I really want to watch a TV show based on my friend Pedro.
Exactly. Who asked for this? Why? I'm not mad. I'm not. I'm like more impressed than anything. But why?
Like that game is just bizarre. Um, so I can only imagine what a TV show is going to be like.
Did was that confirmed if it's animated or live action?
I would imagine it has to be an animated show.
Yeah, I hope so. That man.
Um, the other one, the second one makes a little more sense. Is The World Ends with You?
Like, that's the perfect fit for a TV show or anime or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, why
that has
didn't this
that has
happen sooner?
that has one of those stories that just screams giving people a TV show. They could do a lot with that property. Um,
Yet they haven't done much.
so, well, we got a
we
game.
we had a re-release on iOS, and then we had what was it? Come on, uh,
It's on
Switch.
Switch.
Okay, I was like 3DS or it
There's a
was
Switch
originally a
version.
DS game.
So, a lot of Square Enix games would make pretty good TV shows. So this one is not unusual.
You
Um,
know what? I'm gonna argue that with the Final Fantasy anime that came out several years ago.
okay,
Yep.
and then the
There's
last
gonna be
one.
a hard cut to like a really bad piece of footage right there.
has moved. Soil is my power.
The last one that I think people have been asking for a very long time is Fallout. Bethesda is working with the creators of Westworld to make a Fallout-themed TV show.
I can't think of anyone that would be asking for a Fallout TV show. But having Westworld involved, okay, all right, you have my attention.
It's a good group of people. If you're going to make a Fallout TV show,
You go with the people that kind of already know how to do a Fallout TV show.
yeah. And this one will be exclusive to Amazon Prime.
What I found even more interesting is there Fallout the iOS free thing, Shelter.
The Fallout Shelter, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a Westworld game, which was the same thing. It even had the original Crash stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have these. Now they have the people working. Oh my gosh, man! This is just like a crazy thing to happen, really. After that,
My question is, how is Bethesda going to get all the bugs in the TV show?
I don't know, but I want to see them like do a save and reload thing on there.
They have to acknowledge it in some way, right?
What they'll probably do is they'll have the character thing. Okay, and what you'll see is you'll see a scene play out where, and then it just ends with the character getting the crap beat out of them or killed, and then it's gonna do a hard cut back to the character, and it's like they imagined it, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That could be bad."
Yeah.
Which
I can see
I
them
will
doing
count
that.
that as saving and loading the game.
So, yeah, I want to see like the VATS system in some way make it into the TV show.
Means I'll have to wear goggles or something so they can visualize it.
Yeah. So, I mean that source material makes is prime for a TV show. So it makes perfect sense that they do something like this.
Should be really interesting to watch. And I
So
have
I
never
will.
seen
I will.
Westworld, so yeah.
I have not actually seen Westworld. Aside from bits and pieces, things on Twitter that people have posted, I've never
That's
actually
more than
watched.
I have ever seen.
So uh,
That makes you the resident expert here, Tony.
I'm the expert because I've seen a Westworld meme on Twitter. And then lastly, we all know that E3 didn't happen this year. Most other big game shows are getting canceled or being moved virtually.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that has come out of that now is that Microsoft has announced they will be, I think they're doing this through Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. They'll be, connecting it to that in some way. But on July 21st, they're going to be releasing, they said, between 60 and 100 demos on to the Xbox. And most of these will be upcoming games that are not out yet. So let me see if I can find the list of ones that I saw.
I have it right here.
Yeah, okay.
And the first one on the list is. Well, I did not copy and paste over correctly. You know what? Let's just do no highlight. And then we'll just do that. And then. Oh, that didn't work either.
Let's see. Well, the article that I found, some of them are the Destroy All Humans.
There we go. Now you can see it. Christ Tells?
I have no idea what that
Christ
one is.
Tells? I don't know. I've never heard of it. Destroy All Humans. Okay. That's a PS2 game originally, right? And Xbox and GameCube.
Yeah, but, I mean that franchise has been on a few different
So
things.
this is just a demo of a game that came out years ago with the newer remaster, right?
I think so.
Okay, that's cool. Haven. Not
Don't
sure
know
what
what
that
hate.
is. That's why we're getting demos for these games we've never heard of.
Yeah.
Hellpoint.
Okay.
Raji and Ancient Epic.
Yeah. See, most of these I have never heard of.
This one I've heard of. Skatebird.
Yeah, I want to play this one. This is like everybody's calling this like the Tony Hawk style game. They're making
There
those
better be a
puns,
hawk you can play as in there,
and he better be named Tony.
right? Okay, and they better have Surfing Bird as a song, or just missed opportunity completely.
Yeah. So this literally is a Tony Hawk game where you play as birds. Is basically what this game is.
The Val,
Veil.
the Veil Shadow of the Crown,
Okay.
and Welcome to Elk.
Welcome to Elk. What in the world? That is a very, very strange art style. Looks a bit Adventure Time-ish, maybe?
Welcome to Elk.
Yeah, unless I'm just looking at something weird. Let me make my search a little more refined here.
Okay, I see it. It's somewhere between Adventure Time and Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. Looks like a point and click adventure type game.
Yeah, I'm not exactly hooked on the design right now, but these are the ones that we are sure supposed to have demos. Unless someone lied to us on the internet.
The Veil Shadow of the Crown is an audio only action adventure.
Weird.
I'd be very interested to see how that works. Like, that's one you're probably going to want to be wearing headphones to play. Because I think that's going, sound is going to be the most important thing, obviously, in an audio only game.
Raji looks a bit like a kind of a Diablo style game, but not Diablo.
Okay.
Like, I think probably more puzzle based than anything.
Yeah.
Looks alright. I don't think I would go out of my way to play it though.
Yeah. Hellpoint is a sci-fi RPG.
Cool.
So you know exactly what to expect there. There's like zombie looking things, characters with spikes on them, and you're carrying daggers, and it just looks like a standard sci-fi RPG.
Haven looks like looks like it has an RPG thing where you control a boy and a girl doing various combinations through up, down, left, and right for what each one needs to do to fight certain enemies.
Hmm. And I'm looking up Chris Tales now. I really like the visual style of that. That I don't know that I could really explain exactly what this looks like. Little bit Samurai Jack, sort of, just a little bit,
It's playing a video on Steam's website right now.
just a little bit. It's another JRPG.
Okay, I saw this video before. It's like the princess is getting attacked, and then like all the princesses go into. I don't know. Yeah, Samurai Jack. That's a good way to describe it.
Just in the visual style, not in the actual gameplay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the gameplay is on here yet.
Hmm.
Oh,
I see the
side
words
scroller.
JRPG, or the.
It's a side scroller with kind of a RPG thing going on there. With, I guess it's turn based on what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Attack
Probably.
skill and invoke past crystal. Okay.
So Well, there you go.
Might be heavy on the visual novel stuff as well. Actually,
And-
you can download the demo of that one on Steam right now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll just be coming to Xbox on the 21st.
Yes. Release date for that one is November 17th.
So yeah, that's just a handful of the demos. They don't know we haven't been told exactly how many they will have available, but they did say somewhere between 60 and 100.
Man, I hope there's a Sonic the Hedgehog 06 remaster.
Some of these may be limited to, I mean, you may be able to play them for, a few days, and then they take the demo down and you won't be able to play it anymore.
Or
What
it might be timed exclusive demos where you can only play it 3 times.
it could, no, I really doubt they would do that. They're not going to pull a Nintendo.
Yeah, that hasn't been an issue for a while even with Nintendo, right?
So, no, they have all their demos on Switch are download and play as often as you want. You just, whatever the demo happens to be.
I guess they got tired of people complaining.
But I do love that we're getting to see this and getting these games out to people who, to the players without having to deal with, not getting to see these demos, having to just watch a few videos about them and actually being able to play them for yourself. That's one of the things I've always wished you could do at E3 is the demos that they're letting the press play, let the public play them as well. And this is one of those times we'll be able to actually do that.
Yeah, I think I said it earlier, but this is kind of like when the 360 came out and there was that E3 that happened right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was like a ton of demos people were able to enjoy. I want to say I tried like 12 demos or something total from that.
Yeah. And I would really love for Sony and Nintendo to do this as well, but I don't know that they would do something like this.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
So, but those will all be available on July 21st.
Or they'll start coming out around July 21st.
Yeah.
That's when I think when the event is supposed to happen.
I think so. I haven't been able to keep up with the full schedule for the Summer Game Fest thing. It's been so, here one day, gone the next. There's a month between one thing and another. So it's been a little confusing to keep up with everything that's going on with Summer Game Fest. But there have been some good things to come from it. So looking forward to getting a chance to play some of these demos. But that, I guess, will be the show. We have no feedback this week, so thank you very much, Ethan, for being here.
And I apologize for all the fireworks that were going off, but it sounds like they've finally calmed down.
Not a whole lot we could really do about that, though. If you want to reach out to us, we have new ways to do so. You can email us at procedurallygeneratedent@gmail.com. If you like what we do, you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/pgent. Patreon supporters get the video version of the podcast a day early. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel, and we still have that famous Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.